Hello and welcome to this video review of Onrush. This is the first game from Codemasters Evo, the team made up of many former Evolution Studios personnel, and in many ways, as we saw in the beta, you can see MotorStorm's DNA in there, along with other inspirations like Burnout's takedown mechanisms. The problem, however, is that this unique premise of a racing game without racing doesn't really convince or excite until you take it online. This is a great online game, but solo players might get bored very quickly. So it's an action-packed, explosive driving game where the cars are the weapons and each has its own perks like a Call of Duty loadout, all delivered with 60 frames per second, high-quality presentation. Why isn't that exciting? Well, a few key areas make all the difference. For one, the crash damage, while perfectly sound, technologically speaking, is understated. The game is already a 12 for age rating due to violence, but would it be so much worse if the cars completely exploded? The driver could still be catapulted from the vehicle unhurt, so as to keep the age rating down, but the cars never completely disintegrate here, and that's disappointing. Like the game is always holding back a bit, it's a little bit neutered in that respect. Relatedly, impacts between vehicles seem to lack weight. On the plus side, there is action everywhere you look, with hundreds of physics objects spinning around the screen, and the game does a great job of keeping you right in the middle of this action, picking you up by the scruff of the neck when you do fall behind, and depositing you back in the main pack, ready for some more fun. That said, I do wish that the respawn timer wasn't there. Once you've sat through one of the less impressive crashes, there's still a full replay from your opponent's point of view, and then a further 5-second countdown, which is all too much and leaves you feeling removed from the action. I appreciate this downtime is probably in there for balancing purposes, but a simpler, stricter points penalty would have balanced the game just as well. There's no denying it's graphically excellent, especially here on Xbox One X, which you're watching now, and I must say actually the PlayStation 4 standard version that I've also tried runs just as well and only has a few small compromises in shadow quality, that sort of thing. It's still a great looking game. The detailed environments, cars, riders and huge draw distances do look good, but the colours are a bit naff, and too many tracks look industrial. Why aren't we racing around jungles or across tropical beaches? For a game that wants to bring back arcade driving, it's reluctant to go full-on blue sky gaming, and that is a shame. There's also very little mud kicking up, leaving it all looking a little bit too clean. A bit more churning and gravel flying into the screen at 60 frames per second would have made a big difference here. At least the weather effects are excellent, and playing previously raced tracks in snow or in nighttime rain does make them feel different from the standard day. For such an arcadey experience, it's trying a little too hard to be 2018 cool, and that goes for the soundtrack as well. There's too much dubstep in here. What is cool, however, is the headstone system. When you wreck, you drop a little icon, and I'm very pleased to say I got Cherry from Micro Machines here as mine, which you can customise by winning more from loot crates or sometimes buying them in the special offers shop. The car's various abilities do work well with each other as you play, and you'll soon find your favourite loadout. The single player mode asks you to make use of all of them, drip feeding vehicles over the first few hours and giving you further goals to hit using the various perks in order to win stars. These stars unlock further races, but thankfully the online mode lets you use any car right from the start as soon as you finish the short tutorial. The game has got confidence in its balancing, and that's great. The aesthetic-only customization gets a big thumbs up from me. After having had some reservations at beta stage, I'm pleased to say that there is a bit more tactical play than it first appears, with features such as cars storing their rush meter when you crash, which means if you fill your bar, then crash and switch to another ride, you can line up 3 or 4 rush-ready vehicles to be deployed nearer the end of the game when it matters more. You can also act as a shield for your teammates, which is very useful for the lockdown mode, in which you chase a zone and then get as many of your team in it as possible, a bit like King of the Hill. While this zone chasing lockdown mode is fun, and the standard overdrive mode encourages you to basically do all the fun things in order to win, I think the switch mode is actually my favourite. No, sadly this isn't on Nintendo's hybrid console. Instead, by switch, I mean you start off on a bike, then when you get smashed up, you switch to a car and move on down the vehicle types as you go. When you run out of switches, you can keep playing until one team runs out completely, at which point the other has won. The choice between attack and an attempt at defense is really compelling. The potential for clever team play is immense. Speaking of compelling, the online mode is mega addictive, and that's really surprised me. I mean, I know it's a cliche, but I genuinely found it difficult to stop playing in order to make this video review. And that was unexpected, considering my initial time with the single player mode was becoming pretty dull. I mean, I wasn't really enjoying the game, then I went online and had a great time. Imagining the real human at the other end gloating or cursing at you with every collision makes online play so much more enjoyable. Offline events, for all their gloss, are still essentially a repetitive mess of carnage and turbo boost, and to be perfectly blunt, I don't really like the game in solo mode, but I do like it very much online, which was probably the priority for the design all along, so that's fortunate. So in summary, if you're after an over-the-top online game to complement Fortnite, Overwatch and Rocket League, this is a decent option, though it's perhaps not quite up on that top tier of awesomeness. If you're looking for a solo racing game in the vein of MotorStorm or Sega Rally, this really isn't it, so keep looking. At this stage, which is admittedly based on pre-launch play, so my opinion may change after more extensive online play, I give Onrush a very respectable 4 out of 5. Thank you very much for watching. Please do say hi in the comments and check out the rest of my channel for more gaming videos as well as music and more. Cheers.